I'm Charlotte L. Walker, the author of From the Eyes of the Commoner, and I'm with Yaya Diamond.
Yeah! Hey! Yaya Diamonds, dream chasers, we won't wait. Subscribe today before it's too late.
Hello.
Inspiration flowing just like the breeze. Chase your dreams and feel at
Be good.
Be very good.
Hey guys,
Hi.
it's me, Yaya Diamond. What's going on? And I am so very excited to be here today. I have another author on the show for you. She's a teacher. You know, I love teachers because without teachers, I would be an idiot, and I wouldn't know anything. And I think that we all need to understand that without teachers, where would we be today? And she wrote a book. She wrote a book, and it's The Eyes of the Commoner. I want to put that up because I absolutely love the cover of this book. From the Eyes of the Commoner and America in Real Time. We're going to be having her on the show right now. Charlotte Walker, author of this book. Welcome so much to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, Charlotte. So, you used to be a teacher, right?
Yes, for
Oh,
39 years.
wow. Wow. So you've seen some stuff. You've seen some stuff. So
Right.
tell me about this book. Why this book and why now after so long?
Well, I kept notes and I was very disappointed in the way education had became a weapon. Education. The boards
Hmm.
became politicized and to the detriment of the students.
Yeah.
And I was very uncomfortable with that. I took notes. I think students want structure
Hmm.
and they want to be held accountable. And I don't think they should be indoctrinated or conditioned
Mm.
to think that they are victims and because of who they are and their ethnic background, they are limited to being able to strive. And I felt that they were being used to promote and advance other people's careers politically. And so I just chose to just document these things and because of now the media is so one-sided and you can't hear if you're not into the globalist agenda,
Mm.
then you have no voice or you're seldom heard. And so I said I'm going to put this into a book format
Mm.
as is as if it is a journey. I'm on a cruise, and I
Mhm.
would like for the readers to put themselves in reading it. You're on a cruise, and just as life is go as you set sail and traveling through in life, observing all of the surroundings, the changes, and the things that make America what it is,
Mhm.
and and how we can better and be able to accept and the Constitution in order to have a better quality of life,
Yeah.
and that we have nothing to stop us from advancing if
Mm.
you have a positive personal self-concept. The
Yeah.
sky is the limit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And they are being weaponized. They're being
Yes.
used. And it's terrible because you see new lines being drawn. New lines being
Yes.
why are they drawing new lines now? Because the elections are coming up and now they're trying to divide and conquer, and
Exactly.
it just, come on, stop.
Oh,
Just,
just stop it already.
mm-hmm,
And at the at the demise of the young people,
mm-hmm,
period. And
yeah,
they're advocating honesty. Dishonesty is okay if
mm-hmm,
you're dishonest about certain things. It's just uh,
it's
and
terrible.
and
Mm-hmm,
the obvious is, listen, that have do not believe in Jesus Christ, the Lord. Don't say that. It's just to each. It's like they're just trying to
yeah,
destroy the
everything.
young and
Yeah,
turn it into something
yeah, I
that is
got you.
horrible.
It is. It definitely is. But you know what I loved, and I know that we're getting off, but we're still in the kind of the topic of it all.
Hmm.
What I loved was when the year that Obama ran for president, the young people stood up and said, "Oh yeah, watch this. When we want something, we will get it." And all the young people stood up that year and they voted for who they wanted, and Obama got into presidency. I'm not going to say they all voted for Obama, but they showed up and they showed out. And I'm hoping that they'll continue to do that now, because even though the lines are being drawn and redrawn and things are being done, um, they still have power. They still have power.
Well, and well, I will have to say that um, I think that election was kind of kind of an insult in so many ways. And I'll tell you the one in specific
Hmm.
where during the time that he was running, that he said that uh, in a few days when he becomes president, America we're going to fundamentally change America. No one asked how that works. So what would it look like after we fundamentally change America? What
Hmm.
would that look like?
Yeah.
Don't assume that that we cannot see further than the vision of color,
Yeah.
because that doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything. How
Yeah.
will it look?
Yeah. I get you. I got you. Yeah. And in a way, I agree with you. I was just talking about how the young 18-year-old plus stood up,
Yes,
and
yes,
they
yes,
had a voice, and they made their voices known. Maybe they didn't understand it, but they
yes,
understood the principle of hey, you can't count me out.
yes. And that's why I was so disappointed, because they stood up
Mhm.
because that because that was an opportunity, and that they were saying, okay,
Yeah.
this is, and then and to me, it was promoting. He did several things, a couple of things that would diminish the capacity uh, for as far as the civil right bill.
Mm.
He equalized that with promoting uh, the LGBTQ
Mm.
community and the rights.
Mhm.
That he equalized the civil rights with that.
Yeah.
And that seemed to me was the primary focus uh, of his election.
Mhm. Well, I mean, they I don't know if there is a perfect president that
I
we've
can't
ever
hear you.
had one. I don't know if we've ever had a perfect president. Can you
I
hear
can't
me?
hear you.
Did you get
I
hold
can't.
on.
Okay. Yes, I just want to be very clear about my concerns with President Obama. In 2016, he threatened to make sure that if they did not allow students to go to the bathroom of their choice and who they identified and what gender they identified with, they were going to cut out off federal funds. And I thought, with 7 out of every 10 Black American boys are far below in reading, are far below in reading.
Mm.
I think we should be more concerned about what's going on in the classroom instead of the bathroom.
Instead of the bathroom. I got you. Mm-hmm. Mm.
And not to mention the danger in that.
Yeah.
Not to mention the danger in going into a bathroom because on this particular day you feel like you are a male or a female.
Yeah.
Uh, and I just think that the problem is that we use certain issues to just get attention to promote the people that are sponsoring your candidacy
Mm.
and leaving leaving people that actually could have a negative impact from that
Yeah.
leaving them vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's not good, and that we should be more interested in policies than pigmentation,
Hello.
and we should listen to
Mm-hmm.
what is being said and what that is going to help everybody
Yeah. Yeah. I agree
be
with
their
you.
best in the best country to live in, the America with the Constitution. And I can say that because of different people that have lived or and that are from other continents
Mm-hmm.
and countries. Opportunity here in the US is far and above. And
Yeah.
so for that, and I'm not saying by any means saying that we are that this country is perfect, but as far as opportunities, I think we are far and above.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we're headed, and it's been in place for a while. We're headed toward a totalitarian Marxist social agenda,
Mm.
and we are leaving our kids aside to just run wild, not demanding respect, not demanding respect, and be held accountable for your actions, and
Mm.
uh, with families, with family members, and with people at large. But
Mm.
respect is not there. And then when you become comfortable with yourself, you don't have you're not susceptible to other people doing your thinking. You don't do things just because other people do them.
Mm-hmm.
You have some standards, because I would ask my students, is there anything that you wouldn't do to have a money? Because that's the thing that they seem to become so enthralled with,
Mm-hmm.
all of the things that are just flashing at them,
Yeah.
and that's it. They're playing. You are being played with mentally and psychologically.
Yeah.
And I think ever since the Smith Modified Act passed, in 2012 and signed by President Obama in 2013
Mm-hmm.
that gave all every the government decided to make American citizens uh, enemy of the enemy of the government, because what happened is they can lie to citizens just like they do in the countries to other countries.
Mm.
And so that's what the Smith-Mundt Act is about. You cannot spread propaganda to Americans. That's what it was. That was
Wow.
what the Smith-Mundt Act and from 1948. That's
Mm.
what it was all about. That's what it was all about. That propaganda. You can put everything on the media. You can just tell all kind of stories. Not what I and and then they turn the gun. They turn those psychological guns on American citizens. And
Mm-hmm.
that to me is, I mean, because they just lie and relie, and then they expect us to just they don't have a whole lot of respect for we the people having common sense.
Mm-hmm.
And one of Obama's quotes were that if you just put enough dirt and in the public square, people won't know what to believe.
Mm.
And that, why wouldn't we want people to believe what is true and what is right?
Right.
So those are problems that I have with, um, and I just said, okay, you know what? While I still have have my constitutional rights, let me just document some of the things I have been seeing while I'm sailing in the sea of life.
Yeah.
And uh, that's what I chose to do. And I also would like to make sure that I would like to have a school, open schools with curriculums that focus on major the three key things that will that will ensure that give us a possible chance to have a quality of life. And those three things are personal development, because
Mm-hmm.
as I said before, unless you are comfortable with who you are from within, everything you are vulnerable, you can be suckered into anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then health. Healthcare is a big thing, but then you took it out of the high schools and made it an elective.
Wow.
Now, how wild is that? Health is an elective. Now, as much money that goes into health care, health should be taught from first grade through 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would have had more information. People could have made a more informed decision when they start using us for lab rats
Come on.
with all these
Come on. Come on.
vaccines.
Speak it. Speak it. Come on. Speak it.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
and the third and final, well, the third of the three most important things that I wanted to open up a vocational school to educate people in economics.
Mm-hmm.
Economics. That is key. That is key. Economics needs to be taught first grade, first grade, all the way through 12, not a 12th grade only. Those are the things that I said, if you don't say anything, then you're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so I retired in 2021, but I was so disappointed. I wanted to make sure, I wanted to do something independent
Mm-hmm.
and start a school, because I just thought that it was that school had become so politicized and that they were indoctrinating students to be very hateful, disrespectful, instead of judging people individually as you have information after you communicate with them and on issues and not on race.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I saw one of the key things that I saw coming from when I first started to teach and what was happening at the end was one of my students used to be very, very, very excited about law enforcement. And what happened, they became, near the end of my career, a student leaned over and whispered to me that he wanted to get into law enforcement. That's how the environment and the peer pressure and the kind of indoctrination that goes on. I said, you have, law enforcement is very much needed and it shouldn't be used as a political tool. And there are bad apples in every organization. But,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't throw the, you do, to say that is, you don't need that, give me a break. And to try to make, and it worked because people did not want to express their interest in law enforcement
Mm.
after all these planned and plotted uh, mobs of protesting, saying things that were peaceful protests, and then you have fire behind them. So,
Yeah.
okay, how peaceful is that?
Yeah, right. Oh my
And I
God.
was just thinking, but listen, you have so much to be proud of. It's who you are, and that goes for all. But I'm specifically speaking in terms of some of the Black students that I said you have so much to be proud of because
Yeah.
you from the way that you came to this country, and I said you're part of the best.
Yeah.
Because if you got sick along the way, you became fish food. So you have and I say, and look at all the obstacles that were put before them, but they still thrived. They certainly had less education,
Mm-hmm.
but they had sense enough to own property.
Yeah.
They worked. They worked. I said, I never heard anything about, gimme. Right? You want, you work.
Oh
And
yeah.
regardless of what the job is, that's a stepping stone. I certainly wouldn't want to pick up pecans and other things, pull weeds forever, couldn't grow my nails. But you did what you had to do to get where um, I worked in manufacturing where we made shirts, men's shirts, manufacturing shirt, Manhattan Shirt Company. And you have production. And my job was hanger label. And you had to hang X number of labels and you go on. Oh, but and that's where I worked the summer before I entered my freshman year at Clark.
Wow.
You want, you work. And I'm glad that I had that experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't empathize when people, I'm sorry, the jobs that you won't do. Yeah, what job is that? And I don't like the fact that that is used when illegal immigration. They said, well, they won't do these jobs. Well, yes, you will. Yes, they will. If we, they will do them. And that you just want the cheap labor. And see, I remember my mom having to come. She was getting people to sign a petition to try and keep them from sending jobs to Mexico, to send the textile plant that she worked at to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And so she went around to get people to try to, but they eventually sent there. So was sent the job there.
Mm-hmm.
However, and my thing is, and that's why I'm adamantly against illegal immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Because they are penetrating us twice. They're penetrating us twice. You move the factories in there for cheap labor, and then you come and make dreamers out of them. You make and so they're competing for the few jobs that are left here. The
Yeah.
dreamers,
And they'll take anything.
compliments of Obama.
Yeah, they'll take anything.
So
They'll take anything.
uh, I I'm proud of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't mind. That does not stop me from calling a spade, right from wrong, and working on behalf of we, the people, the citizens.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So, you have your book out, and it's just you have so much passion about it from the eyes of the commoner, America in real time. There's just so much that you can offer there, and to me, it's like it's a beautiful rendition of a person who is experiencing America firsthand, and all
Yes.
of the things that come with that experience. Not someone that was born outside, but someone that was raised and born here. And I absolutely love it. What are your plans for when this book becomes a bestseller, darling? What are your plans?
I'm going to I'm going to get people to invest in a school. What I just to invest in a school, a
Mhm.
vocational school. I would like to pilot them, and I guess I would start with maybe a podcast, and then again focus on the basics: reading and writing and arithmetic,
Mhm.
and then from personal development, health, and economics. That's what should be done in the very at the beginning, first grade. And I would like for the school to be for seniors, so that they can become uh, they can have be they can get assistance with Eric. They're putting these people on they're they're putting these people telling you, oh, go online, and it's almost like they're trying to worry people to death. It's a slow genocide to get rid of old people because they get so frustrated and they can't do that. So
Mhm.
if you're going to have that, they need a good support system.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I do believe that the media is the enemy of the people because they don't tell you of all of the bad things about
I'm the
um
media. That's terrible. I'm not telling nobody nothing bad.
okay, well, yeah, that's right. That's right. And I shouldn't say all, but say the ma- but they don't tell the bad that they just keep the things that they want to promote, which is technology,
Yeah.
and they don't let you know. I mean, how many elderly people get scammed,
Yeah, they don't.
and that's not good because
Mm.
that's not within their narrative. They want everybody to become a robot,
Yeah.
and when we were when we were closed down for those couple of weeks, then they that was that was horrible. And they said, okay, we're gonna go in on Zoom. That was the worst thing.
Yeah, it
Those
was
kids,
more than a couple of weeks. That was a couple of
yeah, in
years.
different places. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's
But
terrible.
But again, and it seemed that the goal is to make the citizens be just dumb and stupid. That's what it seemed to me, because during that time you can't there was no talking,
Hmm.
no, there was no communication, so that whole little pandemic scare plan could work, because everybody
Yeah.
was scared half to death.
Yes, they were.
They
I
were
was
scared
included.
half to death.
But I think a lot of people woke up at that
Okay.
time too. There was a lot of awakening as
I can't
to.
I can't
Can you hear me again?
I can't hear you.
No.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, well, they were, anyway, they were, okay. Yes. And, all, and I don't mean to get emotional, but all of, with that pandemic and all of the things that they chose not to reveal, and not to address when people had different reactions to it, that that is that's horrible, and that's one of the reason. That's another reason I had said what I said about the media, and they were well aware of the fact of the side effects, the tests, the trial tests that they had ran on. Though it was not good, and then to mandate when people lost their jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Remember what I said about the totalitarian stuff? And I said,
Hmm. Yeah.
please, no way.
Yeah.
I said, you can't be, and like I said, I retired. You can't. I said, you can't force anybody uh, to take a experimental vaccine. That's crazy.
They did it. They did it. They did
Yeah.
it.
And then the fact now that no one is saying anything about it other than a few. Ron Johnson, that's a senator from Wisconsin, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to get uh, to speak, to go before his committee,
Mm-hmm.
because so many people, I mean, people, uh, it's sad. And
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think I don't think that should not be addressed.
Mm.
Uh, that should not be addressed. And
Wow.
I plan to bring that to the forefront too, when
Wow.
I become a bestseller. I
That's
plan
right.
to empower people, think in terms of yourself and what is best for you. And I hope you see that it doesn't matter what color and who it is, people in governmental positions or self and personal advance. So you can get caught up in that if you want to, for all these, I call it Hollywood, Hollywood,
Oh my
and
God.
all these celebrities not to be celebrated. They are paid to give you misinformation.
Wow.
And so I just want people to just, again, analyze themselves and just go back to you. As my mother used to say, you're not better than anybody, but you as good as everybody. And so when you take that stance, you do things. And I certainly have less years in front of me than I do from behind, and from behind than behind me. So I want to try to do something to leave this world and to help people understand that you are responsible for you,
Mm-hmm.
and no one has your best interest at heart more than you. And so go forth and
That's
live your best life
Amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show. Can you hear me still?
I can hear you still. Yes.
Good. Hey!
Yes. I know.
From the eyes of the Commodore America in real time, I want to thank you, Miss Walker, for being on the show and for giving me and all the people that are listening today your heartfelt and honest view on what should not have gone down, basically.
Okay.
But I want to thank
Absolutely.
you. And you know what? I hope you do get that school and I hope that everything goes well for you. And I do hope that this becomes a bestseller. You guys got to pick this up, From the Eyes of the Commoner, America in Real Time. And that is by author Charlotte Walker. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And Charlotte, thank you again.
And thank you, Yaya, for
Oh,
being with
anytime.
you. From one American commoner to another one.
There you
Goodbye.
go. All right. See you. Bye, guys. Don't forget to dare to be different. Thank you for watching.